Well, hello, my East Auburn friends. There's a little more of the one and only Bob today, and we got to find out if they saved that poor little baby gorilla. Team Elephant. Hurry, Ruby cries. The elephants bend lower, moving like a giant elephant shovel. Where is she? Maskila says. Lower, says Akilo. Lower, sisters. There, Ruby yells. No, wait, there. Up, Akilo commands, and the interlocking trunks rise from the muddy water to reveal a tiny, trembling baby gorilla sitting in their makeshift sling. Kudzu, said Akilo, stay calm, baby. We're going to toss you to safety, okay? Kudzu gives a little nod. On my count, says Akilo, start swinging. 1, 2, 3. Up and over go the trunks, and up and over goes Kudzu. She lands a little plop on the gorilla side of the moat, right next to Maskila's rear legs. Good work, everyone, says Akilo, and good thinking, Ruby. Thanks, Elephant, says Kudzu, wiping mud from her eyes. That was fun. Can we do it again? Akilo takes a deep breath. Maybe later, sweetheart. Quickly, I make my way back over to the moat. Kudzu, I say, follow me. Let's find your ape peeps. Can I go with Bob? Ruby asked Akilo. Akilo touches Ruby back with her trunk. I'd much rather you stay here, dear, and it's may I. But Uncle Ivan, Ruby pleads. I'll keep an eye on her, I tell Akilo. I'm going, Ruby says in her most determined voice. Maybe I can help. I helped just now. Akilo hesitates, but finally gives a slow nod. Probably she figures there's no arguing with Ruby. She's right on that one. Ruby crosses the moat and joins Kudzu and me. Be careful, Akilo warns. There's more of this storm coming. I got her, Akilo, I say. You'd better have her, she warns. I think I flew, Bob, said Kudzu, as we weave our way through the wasteland that was Gorilla World. Yeah, me too, I say. It's that kind of day. What's out there? A handful of humans and firefighters and police mostly have begun to roam the grounds, checking out the damage. We pass a park employee with a weapon slung over his shoulder and a net in one hand. Trank gun, he tells the passing officer. We don't know what's out there. She nods. How fast do they work? On something like a big cat? He shakes his head. Not fast enough. I look over at Ruby. Stay close, kid. As we near the gorilla villa, what's left of it anyways, a screech hits my ears that makes the wailing police siren sound like mewling kittens. It's Kenyani. She's frantically knuckle running back and forth near the collapsed gorilla villa. Chunks of cement and shredded wooden beams and bent material lie everywhere. A cluster of gorilla females and juveniles are huddled not far from some rescue workers. There's Mama, Kudzu cries, dashing towards a gorilla named Jody. I'm so horrified by the destruction that I almost forgotten my muddy little charge. I really shouldn't be trusted as an ape sitter. Kudzu darts off her to her mother's waiting embrace, and Jody muzzles her and strokes her and says soothingly motherly gorilla things. Thank you, Jody mouths to me. Don't thank me, I said, looking over at Ruby. Thank this little gal. She figured out how to save Kudzu. Thank you. Ruby, is it? Ivan's friend? Ruby gives a shy nod. We all helped. I provided moral support, I added. I flew, Mama, said Kudzu. Of course you did, dear, said Jody. Kiani's fresh wails focused my mind. I gotta go, I said. Ruby, you should stay here. I'm going for a nonsensical voice, the one Julia uses on me when she calls me Robert. Let me see what's what. I'll be right back. No way, Uncle Bob, Ruby replies just as firmly. I give up, but I'm afraid of what she might see, of what we both might see. Any sign of Ivan? I asked Jody. She shakes her head and a grim look clouds her eyes. With Ruby by my side, we approach a pile of wreckage that used to be the gorilla villa. At the same moment, Ruby and I gasp. There's Ivan's hand, barely peeking through the rubble. Not moving. I know the hand like the back of my own paw. No, Ruby screams, Uncle Ivan! I check the crowd. There's no sign of Julia or George. Nothing. No Maya either or other keepers I recognize. Just a few employees, several rescue workers, and 2 or 3 dazed-looking visitors. Is he alive? The firefighter asks. Hand, whatever it's called, isn't moving, says another. Weaving my way through the tangle of legs, I climb up the rubble pile and sniff a bit and bark my loudest, Yes, he's alive! Get your rears in gear, bark. Just like those overachieving rescue dogs in that Man's Best Friend show. Listen for a sound from Ivan, a grunt, a cry for help. Nothing. Still, he smells alive. At least I think he does. And that's good enough for me. I nudge Ivan's fingers with my nose. Nothing. This is Ivan. He's my best bud. Sorry to hear it, she replies, and I don't like the sound of her voice. With great care and far too slow for my taste, rescue workers begin removing chunks of the wreckage and tossing them to the side. Zena and me, we mostly stay out of the way, but every so often I lick Ivan's hand just to know, so he knows we've got him covered. I glance over at Maya and Ruby. Maya's wiping tears from her eyes while she strokes Ruby's ears, and Ruby is giving Maya a comforting trunk hug. Good old Ruby, wise beyond her years, that gal. I check the crowd again. Still no sign of Julia and George, and that's when a sickening thought hits me like a bite to the belly. What if Ivan isn't the only one under the rubble? Okay, my third and fourth grade friends, Ivan's in big trouble. He's got a whole bunch of rubble on top of him, and we don't know if he's going to make it or not. But what do you think about George and Julia? Do you think they're under the rubble with Ivan, or do you think there's someone else? Tell me what you think. Bye.